start.
Charlie Kirk is dead, and it exposed something vile and horrifying that I want to share with you right now, just kind of candidly. He was murdered while he's speaking in public to a group of college kids. And there's one part of this that I think should horrify you to the deepest parts of your very soul. Instead of a universal outrage, instead of every decent person saying this is insane and this is wrong, the internet seemingly lit up with these celebrations and cheers and memes and people actually laughing and celebrating the murder of a man because he wore a different political jersey. So let that sink in for a second. And I don't think any of this is about Charlie Kirk, the person. And I don't think it's about whether you liked him or hated him or didn't even care. I think it's about the fact that political murder is somehow just another headline nowadays. And we scroll right past it. There is a whole new low for where we could go. And you have people online cheering like it's their team winning a Super Bowl. And what you're seeing is an evil, evil mask slipping. This is a signal. And it's a signal that we, and I do mean we, all crossed into something that is a lot darker than just politics. This right here, what we're seeing, is what happens when violence becomes part of a political conversation. When actual TV networks air over and over clips that encourage people to see the other side not as neighbors that we might disagree with, but as enemies that need to be destroyed, as the threat to society. And you've seen it, I have no doubt. We all have seen this. People in the media saying these people are a threat, these people are dangerous, maybe some violence is justified, and it's not fringe anymore. This is mainstream. And there are thousands of these clips out there aired to millions of people, kind of nudging, suggesting, maybe planting seeds that maybe a fist, maybe a bullet is a legitimate form of political debate.
You resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck.
Biggest terror threat in this country.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
A lot of people don't have the attention span to maybe stick with this, but I pray that you do, because I'm going to expose something here that's going to change everything for you if you stick around. But here's the irony, and what I think is a absolute concrete law of history. It's concrete law. The minute that your ideas require violence to enforce or spread, they're already completely bankrupt. Every tyrant, every failed ideology, every social collapse starts the exact same way. The debate dies, then violence takes the place of debate. And you can't argue with a gun. You can only kill with it. And when killing is the substitute for a conversation, society as a whole starts falling off a cliff. And we all, myself included, we all have been sold the biggest con of our entire life.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. There's some things to comment on that are very important. This is Goldie.
And also Goldie camera, yes.
Also Goldie camera, yes. So again, guys, this video is shared down below in the section of the description. This is Chase Hughes, I think. That's how you pronounce it. Charlie Kirk's death exposed the biggest scam in history. That's what we are watching. It has 3,500,800, a lot. It has a lot of views.
Yeah.
And he also explains, I mean, I went through some of his videos. He explains how psychologically people are easily manipulated with some techniques like psyops, whatever, operations like that. And it's very obvious to a free thinking, intelligent person that's not run by emotion. But as we know, many of us are really run by emotion, especially the left side.
Yeah.
But this is programming that was going on for quite a while. Whenever you have weakness in your character somewhere, it's very easy to, for anyone to appeal to your emotional side and just to manipulate you with arguments that appeal not to logic but emotion. And they're automatically false, but you can't think. You can't think straight at all, actually. If you can't think, you're just falling for it because emotion, that's the only reason. So this is what you're gonna see now, very well explained. I'm gonna continue the video.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
And this is that the problem is left versus right, or Republicans versus Democrats. And that is the distraction fireworks show that they want us screaming about while they're doing something else. And this is a magician's trick. And I'm about to really show you what Charlie, God rest his soul, has kind of exposed here. If you turned on cable news today, you go in your living room, turn it on, maybe you scroll social media, what are you gonna see? The absolute fringe. They're gonna show you the loudest, dumbest, most cartoonish people from the other side blasted in your face 24/7. You're not being shown your neighbor or your coworker or the mom next door who votes differently. You're being shown a bunch of professional lunatics that are handpicked to make you think one thing. And the one big thing that they want you to think is, oh my God, these people are insane. They are the enemy. That's the reason that we're going downhill. And none of this is an accident. This is word for word textbook psychological operations. And military psyops manuals literally describe how you isolate a target audience, then you pump them full of a bunch of outrage, you create a tribal us versus them identity. This is straight out of a psyops textbook. So why would we want to do this? Or why would psyops want to do this? Because once you're locked into tribal thinking, you're going to swallow anything. You're going to believe any lie about the other side. You're going to cheer when other people suffer. You'll excuse things that you would never excuse in your own neighborhood if you watched it right in front of you and it was one of your neighbors. This is exactly the playbook on how you get otherwise decent, kind people laughing at a murder on the internet. That is how you radicalize a country without firing a shot. And
Okay, this is where I have something to say. I don't think that those people that are radicalized are decent. And sorry about the barking.
Doggies. Hey, Sir D.
Hey, Sir D.
Sir D.
We're happy to see you. It's been a while. So, the
We
book,
decided to play
Jesus Christ.
and send ship.
So we are just gonna listen to the video, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think because we don't
Better that way.
better that way. But I really should keep my thought because it's very important about the people and all of that. Okay.
let me tell you something that you're not supposed to think about right now. You share more in common. You share more with somebody across the aisle than with a billionaire donor or some media executive pretending to speak for you. I don't think they want you to see that. They need you divided. They have to have you blind and full of rage because a united, sane, connected public is the one thing that they actually fear. So how does a normal person, just a regular person, a guy who loves his kids, pays his bills, maybe argues politics at Thanksgiving, how does he turn into somebody who cheers at the assassination of a political opponent on the internet? This does not happen overnight. It is a formula, and I'm going to lay it out for you very plain right here.
Okay, now that the puppies came
Settled
down,
in, yeah.
settled down, sorry. Hey Astor,
Hey,
just
Astor.
sent one membership. Thank you so much. So, very important point. You're getting your Wonder Woman salute, of course, as usual. So, very important point, guys. I don't think, I mean, that is what I think he's missing here, that these people that are radicalized, they're not the normal people.
Decent people to begin with.
All the people that we see being radicalized are all the weirdos that look like that, speak like that, act like that, and they were like that before, or
yeah.
at least to a certain extent they wanted to be like that. They couldn't find their identity. So here we have the profile that fit all of those people, which is very weak-minded person, probably filled with insecurities, didn't know where they belonged, maybe they were bullied at school, and at some point they saw this ideology that promoted so much acceptance, really not, but so much
Really not, yeah.
acceptance, that they decided to just join it. And because they were feeling outcast throughout their life in to some capacity, but that capacity is how much they build a character during this time of growing up to be able to become their own person, and how much did they allow for whatever they were going through to get under their skin. Because believe me, I for one, and Logan here, we are both kids that were bullied at school. Like horrible things happened. I mean, I don't know about all of your things, but I can tell you about my things that like horrible things happened to me because people organized to attack me, like the whole class. So stuff like that, because they hated me so much. Like the girls hated me so much because I was just drawing pictures and I was minding my own business.
How dare you?
I didn't. Yeah, I was just
How dare you?
drawing. I was an artist, like just drawing stuff in between classes. I didn't really need anyone. I was my own person. So they hated my guts for this. So they decided to organize and attack me after school gym. And I managed to escape. Anyway, I don't want to tell that story. But the point is that even if you went through such things in your life, it's how you react to them. Do you have a character? I mean, are you going to grow from this, learn from this, learn to not be like that, learn to be a better example for others, not to become a bully? Because as we know, there are kind of like two outcomes when somebody is bullied at school. They either become the victim or they rise above it and they just become a better person. They become stronger. That's what happened to me. I became stronger. This always will feel bad when I remember what happened to me, but I don't feel like a victim or anything like that, because I know that I had something of worth to them. They saw me as something better, so that's why they did it. And thank God to my parents that they explained that to me. So from one hand, my parents were better and they had my back when these things happened to me. From one hand, they didn't have my back for other things. So it's not like I was like fully pampered and cared for, and I was told to be very strong. Kinda at times, yeah, kinda. Like my dad said, if somebody tries to beat you up at school, you gotta protect yourself physically. You just don't leave yourself be beaten. So in that kind of a way, I managed to beat a few guys even. But but anyway, and the girls. But in any case, the point is that if a kid is like weak-minded in some kind of a way, the parents, is their responsibility to try to explain to this kid, spend more time with the kid, explain like this and that, and you have to not allow all of that get to you. You have to learn to be your own person, to grow past these things, to get some confidence, like to build it, create something of yourself, find what you're interested in, work on that. Friends that are like you will come in time. That's like the correct approach. But I don't think that the younger generations that are susceptible to the woke mindset had any of this constructive basically upbringing. They were only probably left to their own devices. We mentioned this like 2 streams ago.
The 2 streams ago.
So I don't think that what he's saying here in the video is exactly correct. For sure, maybe there's some people that were like normal and then they got radicalized. I have one person as an example with that in my life, a young guy that was very okay and normal, like entrepreneur orientated, all of that, really cool to talk to, good friend, and all of a sudden he became on the totally opposite side of politics, but here in Bulgaria. Here in Bulgaria, yes, but that part of politics in Bulgaria that kind of look like the left a bit from America. So he started supporting everything that you now see. And I was very surprised. I was like, in shock, basically. I'm like, I thought that this guy was intelligent. So I would say that all of that psyop operations, psychological manipulation, that will totally work for the already people that are broken inside and just don't have anything, just empty vessels, and the people like him that have some intelligence, but maybe they don't have a lot of emotional maturity. They still are very easy to manipulate when it comes to, well, appeal to emotions, strawman arguments, whatever. Somehow, some way, they did not develop that part of themselves. So they actually are ready to go beyond reason and into the I protect this person because they're this and that, and how dare you? How dare you, say anything bad against them or whatever.
Well, they're to make a comic book analogy, they're much like comic book villains actually, most of them, because really they decided to react that way. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I watched a video about the Joker from the animated series, and the guy on the video said that unlike other versions, this one was actually always bad because it was kind of connected. That animation was kind of connected with the Burton movies, you know, kind of because it was the same time, and the studio wanted to be connected. So that Joker there was actually the mobster that was killing people, and he said, "You see, he didn't have a tragic past like some of the other villains or anything like that. He was bad to begin with. Yeah, so he was bad to begin with, much like some of those people, and he decided to, I just going to do that." Or again, we can make the other analogy that in some comic books when they say the Joker had one bad day, like in the Killing Joke, and that's what tipped you over. But again, you decided that this bad day tipped you over.
Oh yes, how you react to
You're
events
the
is
one
your
who
decision.
decides. Yes, so
Yeah.
because then in that comic book, for example, Gordon Shaw proves that no, the bad day is not what can make you bad. It's you who decide. One bad day, two bad days. You're the one who decides. Again, in that case, these people decided that.
The lack of qualities
yeah.
it was already present. Like, why didn't Batman decide to become a murderer after his
Exactly.
parents got killed? He decided to
Exactly.
become a hero. That's the same with the bullying
Exactly.
example.
Yeah.
When something bad happens to you, you may decide to rise above it and become better and actually help others in similar situations and not retaliate, go crazy, and start being the Joker.
Yeah, I was bullied because I was fat, for example. You know, ridiculed and yes, I didn't decide that someday I'm going to stay like that and become like some people. Oh, you do body shaming and stuff like that. No, I decided to actually get in shape. That's what helped me, and I really
That
feel
was a good
genuine
bully.
compassion. Well, I in a way, I really feel genuine compassion to the overweight people now, because and I will tell them. I don't care if they say it's kind of. I'll tell them, no, man, it's not healthy. You gotta do something about it, because I know, really, I was in your shoes, those heavy 90-kilogram shoes. And
That's like
yeah,
180 pounds or
otherwise, yeah,
something.
around. Otherwise, you always find excuses for that. So the bullying was not okay. But really, if I was any weaker, then I would just decide to stay like that and do nothing about it.
Yeah, you can still you can decide to be more fat.
Yeah, and just say, well, that's who I am, because they always said that.
Yeah, that's so bad. I mean, the limitations that we put on our own mind is staggering.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do it. Just, I didn't like myself as well. I had to grow up into whatever I wanted to become, physically, mentally, emotionally. So I didn't like myself, how I looked. I tried to be better. I also gained weight at some point. I tried to lose that weight. I did. I understood my faults and everything about it. And now I completely turned around and got discipline. And I'm just keeping that up for more than 10 years. So if I can do it, I think that a lot of people can do it as long as they are not lied to about how these things are actually achieved. It's not like you have to eat just chicken breast all the time. And Mr. YouTube says, I was bullied, started training martial arts, rest is history,
Sir
but
D.
seriously?
Sir D.
Yeah, Sir D. Sir D. Yes. What did I say?
Mr. Muted.
Sorry, Sir D. Everything is like in line in my head. But seriously, most of people with victim mentality are just fine. It's funny. It's funny to me being disabled. I don't feel like a victim or anything. Yeah, no, Mr. Mewtwo, sorry.
That's how I also started in the martial arts after, being bullied because fat and things like that. And I started, Bruce Lee getting into his philosophy and starting to train his style and things like that.
I mean,
So,
instead of being inspired by people, like Bruce Lee, who proved themselves in many ways and start to just train whatever you can do to be better, to be the best version of yourself. See if you have potential for anything. You don't know your abilities. You gotta develop them. You gotta try different things. Instead of doing that, they want to suppress people that are good, that are smart. And again, he's now gonna say, we're gonna get to that, we gotta play the video by the way, but he's also going to mention something extremely important, and that is that you don't kill anyone if they were not right. If
Exactly.
I mean, you don't kill anyone if they weren't important, if their point wasn't I mean, if they couldn't prove him wrong, that means that he's right. And that's why they kill him, because
Exactly.
they don't know what else
They
to
don't know
do.
what else to do.
And if you see some of Charlie's debates, that I did see some of them, when he totally like destroys a person's argument, the other person just starts like, but this, they just can't form an argument because there's nothing to say. They go back to emotion, straw man, emotion, nothing of fact, just emotion. Just it's so pathetic. Like they're animals that were just given brains, and now a bunch of shit is spewing out of their mouths. Lack of a better analogy right now. Sorry guys. Okay, playing the video.
Number one is isolation. And this is where you don't just disagree with people anymore. You're told not even to interact with them. You don't have friends on the other side. Don't date them. Don't work with those people. You need to cut them out of your life. That is step one. And if you're paying attention, that's also step one of joining a cult. So step two is echo chambers. You surround yourself only with opinions that sound just like yours. Social media makes damn sure of this. And algorithms serve you more of what already pisses you off. And this has been proven and documented in research. So that rage gets recycled and concentrated like moonshine, like a moonshine still. And if you haven't caught on yet, this is step two of building a cult, a dangerous cult. So step three here is the tribal script. This is the us versus them narrative. Your side is righteous, their side is evil. Every single issue is framed like a whole.
Oh, hi to Sir Lurkington. He says the thing about not being able to prove he's wrong doesn't necessarily mean he's right. His arguments is just more convincing. Yes, of course, in some cases it's case by case basis, but when it comes to well, anti-woke thinking, when his opinion is based on facts and logic, and woke thinking is based just on emotion and nothing else, just factually he would be right on principle, and that's really it. I mean, I don't agree with everything that he ever said. Like, I mean, also it depends on the context. Like he said that he believes in not to have any sex before marriage and stuff like that. Now in America there's like a pandemic of everybody is, so promiscuous that it's crazy or whatever. Like people are telling me that live in America that girls and guys, they just want to hook up. It's going to be so meaningless and stupid, and it just becomes this culture of depravity. Kind of sounds like something more drastic is needed, but still, and on principle, I wouldn't agree to not having any sex before marriage, because this can be very retarded when it comes to experience. Do you know that you're compatible with this person? And so many things that, wow, I mean, there's very intelligent ways to not have sex in a deprived way.
I
You
mean,
know,
we just saw
you don't need to be to one extreme to the other. Like an extreme is not a fix for another extreme. That's what I want to say. It's not that's not fix.
we just saw an orgy in Peacemaker, so
An orgy in Peacemaker, yeah.
extreme. As
Extreme.
we say, yeah. Which
Yeah, I mean, we are also Christian, and we were Christian way before America, because we are from ancient country. But we don't have any restrictions whatsoever. Just use common sense, and people don't just sleep around for no reason. Most of the times, most people are decent. They just don't do that. You can have a sexual relationship with a friend that's the consensual, based on mutual trust and respect. That's totally different. It's healthy. But people just don't know these things. That's why I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't want this to turn into my coaching about relationships and sexual, healthy relationships, and not craziness and depravity, but that's not the topic. I mean, everything's technically connected, but that's not the topic. We are going to be here for 5 hours, so I'm
Says
just
Yuri says, I come in here to say hit the like button and you're talking about orgies, you mean? Because you wrote orgies? Or?
yeah, well, we didn't mean to do that.
We didn't mean to do that. That was in Peacemaker. Just as an example of depravity.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know, MS. It's much easier for me to have meaningful relationship than the horrible ones. Horrible ones are not worth it.
Yeah.
They are actually very bad for the psyche. And of course, they could be dangerous physically and for the psyche. Again, it's a very long topic.
But here on the thing about the them versus us thing, that's I just want to say that really is like a divide and conquer, and because they fully well know if we are divided, if there is no love between humans, it's easier to just do whatever you want with the people.
Yeah.
And that's why we shouldn't be, even for smaller things, we shouldn't be divided. Even like for smaller things like DC or Marvel and stuff, like, why not both, people? Why not both? It's art. I love art. I love comic books. For me, it's not one or the other. Or when people have a favorite football team or thing, why not? Because I don't watch football, but for example, why not just love for the game?
Yeah.
Why not that? Just love for the game. Doesn't matter which team is it. Okay, you have your team, but when another team plays, just love the game again. It's still something that makes people come together. Or American animation versus anime team. Why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
Why not both, indeed?
I mean, sometimes one could be better than the other,
yeah.
but you can still enjoy both.
still
Like
enjoy
find
both.
things that you like in both. So this mentality is just very bad. It's literally not healthy. Offers respect, cost you nothing, and it's easy. Yeah, but still, context matters in what circumstances something took place. So always context. Okay, playing it.
Holy war. And it doesn't matter if and algorithms serve you more of what already pisses you off. And this has been proven and documented in research. So that rage gets recycled and concentrated like moonshine, like a moonshine still. And if you haven't caught on yet, this is step 2 of building a cult, a dangerous cult. So step 3 here is the tribal script. This is the us versus them narrative. Your side is righteous, their side is evil. Every single issue is framed like a holy war, and it doesn't matter if it's taxes or healthcare. It's suddenly life or death, and it's good versus evil. And if you add outrage and righteous superiority, and our brain chemistry starts going bonkers, crazy, that cocktail makes people feel morally justified in hating and silencing and celebrating violence. That is true radicalization. That's how you turn regular people into basically a sleeper agent without them even knowing. The bad news is that what I just said is only the beginning, and it's happening on both sides of the imaginary aisle. Here's the truly horrifying part. All of this, it's not just a result of some advertising and algorithms. This is deliberate, and I would stake my reputation on it. This is not just some accidental byproduct of politics. This, what we're seeing right here, is engineered step by step to keep you outraged and blind and keep you just kind of stabbing and punching at shadows. All the while, this real power, the people who profit from division, stay completely untouchable. So keep this in mind while we're talking. You have more in common with someone who voted different than you did than the people that you see parading their narratives on TV. Please keep that in mind forever, if you're able to. An absolutely brutal truth that nobody really wants to face. Assassinations that, especially like we saw with Charlie Kirk, assassinations are not usually about stopping some kind of evil. They're about stopping ideas. You don't kill somebody because their argument was weak. You silence them because you were terrified that their words are working on people. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't murdered because he was irrelevant and he had bad ideas. He was killed because his vision of racial and economic unity and equality was gaining traction in the country. If you look at President Kennedy, JFK, he wasn't taken out because he had no power or had crappy ideas. He was killed right as he started poking holes in this weird, dark system's grip on our war and defense and secrecy. Mr. Robin, This guy, Rabin, I think, assassinated in Israel. Nobody did it because he was a joke or because he was a laughingstock. He was killed because he was pushing in Israel for peace, and peace threatened power. Peace threatened power. History is unbelievably clear on this. If debate dies, when open conversation gets replaced with suppression or intimidation and ultimately violence, society walks into a death trap. There is not an exception to this. So the ideas that require censorship or intimidation or blood to survive, they are 100% of the time poison. An idea that can't survive in the sunlight has to live in the shadows. And that is the death spiral that we are in if we don't stop this shit right now. So let's look at the other hand in this magic trick. Remember we talked about there's some misdirection going on here. For decades, the press, the media was supposed to be our watchdog. They're going to find all the facts. They're going to hold the powerful accountable. They're going to keep people informed. And again, you can see this with your own eyes. It's not right versus left. Look closely at the media. It's not right versus left. This is darkness versus light. The media is a circus tent with a lot more in common to a casino. This is a propaganda machine just churning out outrage. Let me just tell you exactly how this works. Facts are boring to people. Outrage is more likely to sell. It's more likely to keep you looking at the screen. That's their metrics. That's what they get paid based off of. So instead of showing you some kind of reality, they're showing you this carefully curated nightmare reel of the absolute worst of the other side. They're not giving you the whole picture. They're giving you the most extreme clips that they can find because they know that you're going to watch. They know that you're going to get pissed off when you see it all, and you're going to come back for more tomorrow. In fact, to me, if I'm very honest, if something doesn't fit their narrative, it is completely ignored. But if a story can be kind of twisted into a blame game, then it is. So they're not showing you reality in any sense. They're showing you a story designed to keep you loyal to your tribe, addicted to whatever their version, twisted horror movie version of reality really is. And what's truly disgusting, what I am genuinely nauseated by. We tend to think, oh yeah, the media is trying to sell ads for some pharmaceutical stuff, and they're trying to sell some car commercial breaks and things like that. That's not it. This is more about distraction. The reason is, while they get you frothing at the mouth over some clip of a protester screaming nonsense, the real enemy to all of us, these entrenched people that you have nothing in common with whatsoever, who decide the narratives, they bankroll politicians, and they write the rules, and you know that they win no matter who wins, right or left. You know that they're the ones getting the checks. They're laughing at how stupid we are. So let's stop with the doom and gloom for a second here. And let me just kind of bring this back. If you strip away all of the slogans, all the hashtags, the little talking points of the media, what do regular people want? What do regular people, you and your neighbors, even the people that voted differently than you? We want our kids safe. We want a roof that doesn't leak. We want food in the fridge. We want a job that doesn't crush our frickin' soul. And we want some goddamn honesty from the people who claim to represent you, to represent us. And guess what? That guy that you don't like with the bumper sticker down the street, he wants the same thing. The woman with the MAGA hat at the grocery store that you thought was an idiot, she wants the same thing. The mom who is too busy working 3 jobs to even care about politics, she wants the same thing too. But what do they not show you on TV? What is the one thing? It's that you have that much in common with the people who voted different than you. They will never show you that. They show you the screaming protester with the purple hair threatening to burn a bunch of stuff down. They show you this red-faced conspiracy guy spitting at the camera talking about crazy stuff. They show you the absolute fringe because fringe pisses you off. Fringe makes you hateful and angry. Fringe makes you think that the other half of the country has lost its freaking mind. There are absolute real studies on this. There's hard data proving that these algorithms and the media deliberately push exactly what's going to piss you off. Because the more enraged you are, the longer you're going to stay hooked. And
Okay, I'm gonna cut it here. We have 9 more minutes to watch. This is really polarizing, amazing video. Hey, Furious Dan, thank you so much.
Hey.
Thank you so much for the 5. You're getting your Wonder Woman salute. Thank you so. Thank you. Thank you. So I just wanted to say about what he's saying, that is why many people don't watch TV.
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
that is exactly why they don't watch TV. And I even talked to a lady in the grocery store the other day. She was like, I went to Greece, I turned off all the devices. It was great. And I'm like, well, I don't have a TV for like the last 7 years, maybe 8. She's like, really? Well, bravo to you. Because I get all my information whenever I want from the internet. Now the internet can totally replace the TV, and that's kind of like Twitter. So Twitter is just never ending scrolling, and it makes me
But you get
overwhelmed.
to filter. I mean, you can filter the information. Whereas
Well,
with
at least
TV
I
in the
can do
beginning, you
that.
couldn't, because in the beginning it was radio. All people get information from radio. Hi, Toasty.
Toasty,
Uh, and it was a new thing, and you have to have a radio. Then it's the TV, and you have to have a TV and things like that. Now at least we have a choice. Still on internet, you could get all overwhelmed, of course, and still find negative information that it's on TV, but at least you can filter it. At least that. It still depends on us. Much like with the TV, we decide, oh no, no TV anymore, I think.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
well, I don't
just
have
switch the things.
television,
Yeah.
not only because the news. I told even my mom, my mom, you watch the news if you like. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
watch
yeah.
the news. I'm gonna find out what happened anyway, because
Exactly.
the fear mongering and the constant doom and gloom, no
Constant.
matter
Yeah.
what news you watch, and whatever what TV you watch. And honestly, we don't have a lot of crime here, but sometimes here and there some huge thing happen, like a huge tragedy,
Yeah.
like a bus falls off a cliff or something, and kids
Yeah.
die, and I just can't. I just can't.
Trains that got burned because they're
Yeah.
not maintained properly and things like
But
that.
anyway, we are
Yeah.
drifting off the topic. Okay, let's continue with the video. But yeah, the point is that, well, I just remembered something. So most of what I have seen is that the older generation are very susceptible to exactly this type of propaganda and negative news and all of that, because that's the only thing during the day that they can talk about, is either that of the telenovela. So
Yeah.
they get so caught up at that. I mean, there's one like grandfather that's almost 70 around here, and he's like, I mean, every time that I meet him, he's like, do you heard about this? I mean, did you hear about this and that, and what's gonna happen? And now everybody's gonna take us over. We're gonna become like, I don't know what. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please stop. Like, who wants to live
Who wants to live that?
like with fear, doom and gloom, and think about those things like the whole day? His brain is completely washed dry, basically. I mean, washed with a washing machine of horribleness. Hey, SG is here. Adam, hi to you. I watch Benny Johnson for information. Yeah, you can watch whoever suits you, basically.
Sad thing is that sometimes even kids or some of my students, when I tell them I haven't watched TV for maybe more now than 15 years, and they look at me strangely, but what do you watch? And I say, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, and,
And,
just download what you
or
want.
download what you want. And then some of them, I ask them, then what do you watch on TV? I mean, movies or TV shows, or watch? And they say, well, the news. And I say, man, you're 12. Why are you watching the news? Well, my dad turns them on and I'm in the same room. I say, just get the hell out of the room. Just stand
Yeah.
up and go. Don't you have any other things? You're 12, for goodness sake.
Oh my god, yeah, I hated such things when I was little. I thought that they were very dry and annoying, and I was
Absolutely.
correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I didn't know they were manipulative. And also because, you know, my dad and my mom, we had like 2 TVs or 3, like one in the kitchen, one in their living room, and one in the living room, and one in their
bedroom. Yeah.
which
That's usually the configuration for most people
configuration,
from Bulgaria. Yeah.
And guys, I just want to say this because I just remember that I heard something on the news that scarred me to this day. It was news about something. I can't even say what it is, but one of the worst things that you can hear on TV about something happening to someone else. I'm traumatized to this day. I am. I can't even think about this. I don't want to think about it. So the news did nothing for me in
Nothing.
my life. Nothing. Okay, nothing but traumatize me to my core. You know, not manipulate me, but traumatize me. But I'm sure if I keep watching, I will be also manipulated manipulated by that. As much as intelligence I have in me, when something is repeated and like, you know, like on this, doing this on your head, you know, it's like, like that, you know, you start to change. It's not gonna be in a very amazing way. Okay, and you watch Teamcast? I don't know everything, guys, that you're watching, by the way. The Corin is my type of commentator. Okay. Indeed, I don't watch TV ever. I download what I choose, and the news finds me in a way. I can't live with constant doom and gloom. Yeah, dear Clayton. And you also have your own stuff to deal with where you live. Twitter now, TV2. I watched Charlie Kirk's death and didn't help my PTSD from Iraq.
Oh, for
Why
sure.
did you watch it?
It's better not to watch. Yeah.
I mean, I never understand this. We know what happened. Why do you have to watch it and see how it happened? This will never be deleted from your brain, ever. This is trauma. You're creating trauma for yourself for no reason. We're not doing anything good for Charlie, if we see how he was shot. We're not doing anything good for anyone. We just create more dread, sorrow, we start to be angry,
Not good emotion.
and that's why actually we're watching this video, because I felt so angry this past few days and I just couldn't get over it, you know. And then I'm like, well, if we become angry as the left are, then we're just gonna kill each other. That's it.
He saw it because there was no warning on the video.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
That should be something that,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you can see it by accident, especially if you saw it live. I mean, you can nothing you can do then.
That's what happened with most people.
Nothing you can do then, yeah. This one snuck up on a lot of people, didn't realize until it happened. Yes, sir. Lurkington, I get it now. I cannot even watch TV, have no cable for it for over 15 years now. Good on you, MS.
Exactly.
Autocorrect Cecil, did you see something? Did you say something? I didn't see if you said something incorrect. Some people are sick and will watch these kinds of videos and share them with everyone. It's disgusting. That's another topic, yeah. I have stopped watching the news on TV a long while ago. I rather watch news of my interests, such as games, movies, and streaming. My go-tos, you mean? Yellow Flash, Hypnotic, and Doctor Disaster for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Basically, I'm not a huge fan of Yellow Flash because how he delivers things, but that's just my thing. That's just literally my preference, nothing else. Okay, let's continue with the video.
Doctor Disaster is
He's funny.
He's funny.
I mean, every time that he plays that song, I'm thinking that the video is over, but actually it's just starting. And I'm like doing this. And then, oh shit.
You see, we made the stream a bit more.
Yeah,
bit funnier
at the
now.
beginning I thought that was super annoying. I was super annoyed, and then I was like,
it's good, yeah.
oh
You
no,
know,
I'm a fan. No.
I think that music is actually was it famous, or it's something that everyone can use, because I heard it in another channel that I watch about figures. You know, they use it in their intro. It's again and I say that that's the same music there. So maybe it's something, I don't know. Sounds kind of retro-ish.
Cecil, that's interesting. Yellow Flash also got caught lying and got exposed by EVS. I have no idea what happened there. Who's EVS? You gotta tell me. I don't know. But that's kind of like my concern with some content creators that are very big, like Endymion, just because I also caught him doing such a thing, like twisting the truth, or completely claiming things that as his solid, not even as his opinion, but something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Like for sure.
Guarantee.
I guarantee you, like using such language. And he did it several times, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I mean, this is very disingenuous to me.
Sardi says that was cute.
Really?
Our little dance, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's continue.
They're literally feeding you a diet of enemies instead of neighbors. They're programming you to see the world through some kind of warped carnival funhouse mirror, where these loudest, weird-ass 1% of extremists look like 160 million people, and it's not. It is a lie. It is a lie. And if that's a lie, then let me say one thing that's true. And let me give you the truth here. You and that weird uncle that you argue with at Thanksgiving, you're not enemies. You're both being played. You're both being manipulated. And the second that you realize that, the second that you look across the aisle and see a fellow human being instead of some caricature cartoon, is the moment that the scam starts to collapse. And I think I know what you might be thinking here. So if it's not left versus right, then who the hell is pulling all these strings? Who benefits? So let me ask you, who benefits from you hating your neighbor? Because let's be honest, regular people don't profit from this chaos. Regular people don't, but someone does. And that someone is what I personally call the covert elite, because we have elite and then we have covert elite. And these aren't like a bunch of Looney Tunes cartoon villains in some underground lair. These are CEOs and mega donors to political campaigns. And you notice how they donate to both sides? These are political lifers, media conglomerates. These are the people who cash big ass checks no matter who wins the election. They operate on both sides of the aisle because the sides pay out. They don't care about your values. They don't care about your family or your future. They care about one thing, and that's control. And let me tell you, division is the cheapest, most effective tool ever invented for that. Look at how psyops are described in military doctrine. You identify your target audience, you feed them carefully selected information, and you push their emotion until their behavior changes. This isn't theory. That's written down in black and white. And it's the same exact playbook that's being used on you and me, my family, my parents, all of us. Except this time the battlefield isn't Afghanistan, it's not some country in the Middle East. It is your living room. It's your Twitter feed. It's your nightly news. It's right here where you're looking at my face, whatever device you're watching this on. This is the battlefield. This is why both parties, you're hearing them scream about each other nonstop, but they never really seem to touch the things that matter. And you ever notice how there's always money for war, but there's never money to fix our roads? You notice how billionaires always seem to fund both sides of the elections. And if you've ever noticed, if you take a good look, corruption is a bipartisan issue. That's not incompetence. So whatever it is for the elites, they need you locked in this tribal, us versus them, tribalistic warfare. Because if you ever woke up and you started to realize that you share more in common with the other side than a single millionaire donor on your own side, the entire game starts to collapse instantly. And I think if you realize this, you'd stop fighting each other. You'd start realizing that the right versus left is fake. And I think that purely terrifies them. So who knows how long this video is going to last on YouTube. But let me be crystal clear about one thing. The real enemy isn't your Democrat neighbor with the yard sign that pisses you off. It's not your Republican uncle who posts stupid memes on Facebook. The real enemy is entrenched power. And it's an entrenched power that thrives on one piece of fuel, and that fuel is chaos. The real enemy is those people who profit when you are divided and distracted, and most importantly, when you are dehumanizing your fellow Americans. This was never about left versus right. It was always about the people versus the powerful. So here's the starting point. It's just sanity, just plain everyday common sense sanity. And ask yourself, do you genuinely want political opponents murdered in the streets? Do you want your neighbor dragged through the mud because they voted differently? Of course you don't, because you're a sane human being. And that means that you're okay. And sanity right now is the most rebellious act that you can commit in this country for right now. Sanity is refusing to let CNN or Fox News or Twitter decide who your enemies are. It's looking across the aisle that's probably imaginary and saying, you know what, I disagree with your ass, but you're not the devil. Sanity is truly openly saying violence is not politics. Violence becomes the death of politics. And true sanity is seeing just the weird idiots on the news and realizing that's not the norm. That is a cartoon. that's curated for you. And the second that you stop playing the outrage game and you refuse to cheer for blood, which I hope you didn't do, you're already breaking the spell if you're there. I genuinely believe in my heart that sanity is contagious. And when one person refuses to take the bait, the echo chamber starts cracking a little bit. 10 people refuse, it starts breaking open a little bit more. And let me be super clear here. When millions of people, if this were to happen, or were to refuse, the machine will collapse. I guarantee it. We don't need permission to stop being pawns on the board. The minute that you decide right now that you will not be programmed into hatred, then you have started to win. And that's the first step to being sane, and it starts with you. Mr. Charlie Kirk, his death was a mirror for all of us, and it's a mirror showing us how that we have fallen, because when we see murder being celebrated, when we see neighbors that are treated like enemies, that's the signal. And I think the good news here is that the machine only works if we feed it. It only runs on our clicks and our outrage and our willingness to see half of this country as a horrifying monster. If you starve this, it's going to die. It's as simple as that. Just think about your neighbors. Look at the people around you. Your neighbors, your co-workers, the parents at your kids' school. Do they really look like these dipshits that you see on TV and on social media? Do they actually match these memes and all the screaming clips and stuff? Hell no. They look like you. They look like me. We're tired and overworked. We're worried about bills. We're praying for a future that isn't just bonkers, batshit crazy. That's the America that cameras don't show you, because if they did, you'd stop hating people. You'd start seeing reality. So here's the pledge. Here's my one thing that I want to give to you here. And you can say this pledge out loud if you need to. I will not let anything electronic decide who my neighbor is. I will not let political violence become normal. I will no longer let propaganda tell me who to hate. I will never cheer for blood. I will choose sanity. I will choose unity. I will choose to see the humanity in people before I see their politics. And if enough of us take that stand, the whole entire rotten, nasty structure starts to fall, because the truth is very simple. There are more sane people than there are psychopaths. What we're seeing online is fake. There are more of us than there are of them. And the second that we remember that, the second we refuse to be divided against each other, which is fake, the game is permanently over. And I say this as the brainwashing expert and the psyops expert. The choice is absolutely ours. Right now, do we keep this programming? Do we keep going? Do we keep letting them program us into sociopaths? Because that's what's happening. My previous video right before this one was about this. Or do we break the script and take back our sanity and just finally remember that we are one people, we're not two tribes. And I want you to remember this. If something online pisses you off, now you know for sure that you are witnessing social engineering. That's all that is. And let me end this with a quote from Martin Luther King. The ultimate weakness of violence is that it is a descending spiral, begetting the very thing it seeks to destroy. Instead of diminishing evil, it multiplies it. Through violence, you may murder the liar, but you cannot murder the lie, nor establish the truth. Through violence, you may murder the hater, but you do not murder the hate. In fact, violence merely increases hate. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I love you. Please, please, God, send this to somebody that you know. Take care.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
Indeed, love is the answer.
Yeah, and
all people.
I hate how it feels to be angry and hurt and constantly feel this, well, rage actually. I just feel
Yeah.
a lot of sorrow and rage these days, since that girl got killed in the yeah, and then Charlie got killed, and it's just too much. It's just too much. Like, just like in the span of what was span of 2 days, 3 days, I'm not sure. But I just hate that feeling. So I needed something like this, for someone to be like, you gotta stop feeling like this because it's poison. And I know that
Absolutely,
it's poison. I know those things, but that's the thing, guys. Even if we know that, and we know what's right, we know what is the right behavior, we are still angry, we're still hurting, and we still want to absolutely destroy anybody that could say anything bad towards Charlie, or say anything to protect, his killer, that girl's killer on the subway, whatever the case may be. We're just so filled. I mean, we're so filled with a rage about this.
Yeah, that's again from the division that they make. They exactly want
It
us
just
to.
feels so bad. So what is he saying here is that we just, have to try to not be like that, because there is no point. We do have to actively try to stop these people when they're real. I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario where, for example, this DC rider that just got fired is not real. I mean, she is real. The point is if he actually, the point is if a person like that is directed to behave this way, so he whatever can just build up the narrative of somebody that is trans and they're hateful, and you start hating these types of people a lot more than you did before, and it's like a breaking point, a tipping point, like I wrote on the thumbnail. We all feel like this is a tipping point towards our tolerance to any of
Yeah.
this, and we also feel inside that we could get radicalized until, I mean, at least by thought. But if you think something radical, you may also do it. And then
Exactly,
it
yeah.
just becomes the same, like what they do.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just want, for example, this DC rider to be thrown in an asylum, get her medication, make her feel better.
I mean, if she's really like that.
If she's really like
If
that.
she's not appointed
But I don't want her to die,
person.
or him, or things like that. The bad thing is that at first she said that she's writing only for queer people.
Oh yeah, she
That-
also said that.
That's fine and dandy, because it means that you stay in that niche. But then again, if if she really is like that she, because we saw her comments and everything else, then that means she becomes prominent. Let's say a prominent writer, they give her DC and things like that, and becomes prominent. Okay, but she's going to indoctrinate the other queer people who are actually not thinking like that, because there are people who don't think like that. I have gay friends who don't think like that.
I mean, not all are batshit crazy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
kind of served the point what he was making in the video, that real people are not like that. And these people that are actually outspoken on the internet are the fake people that are just some faces that let's say that corporation that wants us to be divided, they just hire them to do that and to behave this way so they can build
That would
up
be
the
logical.
division.
Why, after all the batshit crazy things she said all over the internet, DC actually hired her?
Yeah, because before DC hired her, she was already talking about how she wants to
She
kill
wanted
J.K. Rowling.
to slit her throat. Yes, J.K. Rowling actually works with Warner Brothers because of Harry Potter, and that's
Yeah.
another prominent creator that you have there.
And you allow something like
and
this
you
to
have
happen.
something like that,
So yeah, it does seem very, from one hand, it does seem very unlikely that a company like that will allow this unless this person is really there and they're aware of it. And now that things escalated, she will be given like money, like secretly, and be like, "You're fired, not gonna make comic books, but here's your money for being batshit crazy. You play your role well." I'm not sure if that is absolutely not sure if that's the case. I'm just saying, just hypothetical here, based on what he said about all of this, if that's possible. I mean, otherwise, if that's not what he's saying, then we have at least a lot more mentally ill people all of a sudden than we ever had before, which also seems very weird, and very weird. But then we can attribute mental illness to a lot of unnecessary and necessary vaccines at the beginning of life.
That's true, yeah.
Especially in America. So who the heck knows? I mean, it's very confusing, but the point always will stand what Martin It's very late, guys. Sorry. Martin Luther King said that in any case, we cannot just purge, like in Warhammer 40k, we cannot just purge people. Violence just creates more violence,
yeah.
and that creates, and only light, only with good, you can actually do something else. You can counter evil when you actually do good and show another side of things. There's always going to be someone, but they're going to be processed through the, hopefully, through the system, and not, getting revenge on them or whatever. Now, if this guy that killed Charlie, I mean, if everything is done by the book, he should get the death penalty, and that would be basically justice. But Sir Lurkington says, I'm worried that these firings will lead them down deeper holes, like some sort of validation for them. Well, if that's real, again, the whole thing, if they're fired and they don't have anything to go to, and they really get, I mean, they get what they deserve, you take their income, they could just fall into deeper holes in their life, and it's not gonna be good for them. But it's like consequences for your actions, like classical consequences for your actions. I don't think that that's a validation when they don't have anything to eat one day.
Exactly,
Maybe they're gonna lose some weight and get healthy.
Probably, let's
Maybe
say,
that's gonna be positive for them, like
And-
literally positive.
And let's hope that they will learn that just because you are something, that doesn't make you invulnerable to consequences. The fact that you are, let's say, trans or whatever, that doesn't make you invulnerable. Much like even if you're, higher up, maybe you're still heterosexual, things like that, but still consequences. Even if famous another famous writer of comic books, does something like that, there will be consequences.
I mean, I hope so. Now there is. We gotta see. I mean, I tried to collect some list of people that said something bad, but there's so many things by this point. Let's see what people said. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, you are talking monster yourself too. I read what Sir Lurkington says. Yeah, of course you can't just accept what others say and never stop thinking for yourself. Yeah, but again, not only thinking, but try not to lead with the emotion.
Yeah.
Try not to overreact, like emotionally react, because again, I know how that felt. What we all went through for the last few days. And the only thing that you can think of is that, innerly this feeling arises when you feel like you're justified by taking some kind of a, whatever it is, an arm, a weapon, and go and protect whoever. It's kind of sorry guys, it's really hard to talk about this, especially this late, but yeah. It's a classical case of you seeing someone getting hurt or killed and you want to help, you want to be there, you feel so bad, you want to turn back time and save this person if you can, you want to warn him, you start fantasizing about warning them or whatever, and it's just a horrible spiral of dread and sorrow and desperation. And then you want to, when you can't do anything else, you again circle back to, I'm gonna get a weapon and start fighting people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what shouldn't happen.
This shouldn't, because if we again, comic books, if we can learn anything from Punisher,
It's a spiral.
he's in that spiral forever. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, basically. And when you cross a line like that, you do become like those people. That's the thing. You do
that's the
become
thing,
like those
yeah.
people. So evil wins anyway. If one does evil from the left and the other from the right, then evil just wins. In this case, corporation wins. Corporations, whatever. They win. If they
Shouldn't
profit
be-
from that, they're just gonna win. They don't care who
Exactly.
dies, who lives. That's like, if I can make a Warhammer 40k analogy, because it's very, very suitable here. Like with the god of war Korn, who's also the god of suffering. I mean, not suffering, sorry. All kinds of bloodshed, basically. I don't want to say all the words because it's YouTube.
Yeah.
But even if you fight on his side and you die and you take a lot of souls with you and you butcher in his name, it doesn't matter if you die and the other side dies. He wins. He gets souls. You just it doesn't matter when the Astartes fight against the demons and the demons die. Korn wins again, probably. I mean, everything's a win for him. So this is how evil works usually. Evil just try to manipulate the situation from the highest viewpoint possible, so you don't see how it actually works because you're down there, in the mist. You know what I mean?
In the mist.
Yeah, you're down there and you can't see the bigger picture, but he is up there and he sees everything. He knows how to play like this. So we never should remember that that's a thing. That's a thing, even if it's a corporation, whoever, that's a thing. And manipulation, like he said, there's literal textbooks about psyops. He does have videos about psyops and how to not be manipulated. So if you want to check his video that we watched just now, again, it's in the description of this video. I pasted it in the description so you can watch it. I'm still watching one of his videos about that psyops and how oh, that's interesting. He also has videos about UFOs and stuff like that that are another super long hole.
He had,
rabbit hole.
he had a video about the ego 8 stages. Oh, that's interesting.
About what? I didn't
8
see.
stages of ego, or your ego is not what they told you. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that's so
Have to
interesting.
check that out. Yeah,
Okay, so this is just a great freaking
that's
channel,
a great channel.
guys.
Yeah, so do check it out.
I'm gonna post it in the chat. I think we can learn a lot from it. I already know quite a bit about those things. You can come out from, philosophical standpoint, sometimes just psychology and philosophy, and you can still reach the same conclusion. So it's really profound, could be very profound. Just can't wait to watch that. For Western society, cataclysmic threats starting as early as longer power outage. Yeah, as early as longer power outage. Well, that's not fun. We had that when growing up. Power outages.
Power outages.
Yeah, we had
those,
that a
yes.
lot. I think
It's
most of the problems
horrible when
come.
you have your favorite TV.
Yes,
So,
but then you play some bunnies on the wall, and you
have
you
fun.
become closer with your family. Actually, I think most of the problems come from the people that are online 24/7. Cannot be healthy. It's not healthy at all. I mean, even scrolling through Facebook, I try to not do that. Sometimes I see a story about some puppy getting lost, and I'm reposting because I want people to help that I live nearby. But that is heavy for me. I mean, I'm doing it, I'm trying to get a grip and do it, but for me, seeing stuff like that to me is a tragedy. So I just try to help as much as I can. But technically, Facebook, for example, or Twitter, they don't bring me any joy whatsoever. I'm just there to see some information, especially from Twitter, not from Facebook. And from Facebook, I'm just being depressed and sad most of the times. And yeah, it just doesn't do anything positive for me. Like, really, the only thing that I'm there is just if I can help with something real quick, and then I have to be gone and read my DMs, and that's it. I'm a man, so no worries, I can suppress my emotions. No, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Don't do it. It's not healthy.
Just don't go overboard.
I mean, like Logan can tell you when he's talking with his son and how he's suppressing his emotions,
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah,
all of a sudden
totally.
he explodes
And then he explodes for
and cries like a baby because he
Mhm.
suppressed his emotions, and they just get stuck in,
yeah.
just piled up, and all of a sudden he's like crying, and he's like, "Why are you crying? What has
Yeah.
happened?"
For no visible reason. Yeah. So yeah, don't suppress them. I was also like that as a child.
Sorry guys for the sound.
Suppressing.
Yeah,
And then at one point you just it's going to really explode, like it's like a bottle of champagne.
it's
Yeah.
worse.
It's even
You will
worse,
hit
yes.
someone with that.
You hit someone with with the part of the champagne that
Yeah, with the cap.
with the cap, yeah.
You will hit someone with that. But Kron is the most fair and base chaos god. I think he will not betray you. What? It's a freaking chaos god.
It's a chaos god, yeah.
No, he will do whatever he needs to get to his thing. There's no such thing as Korn will not betray you. There's no such thing. Absolutely no such thing. All the chaos gods are freaking negative. That's all their thing. And everything they give you, just like the manipulation tactics and whatever, just like companies that want something from you, it's like, well, they want your soul first, and if you give them their soul, they're gonna give you attributes and qualities and abilities, powers. Yeah, they're gonna give all of that, but they're going to take what's actually valuable, which is your soul.
So in a way, they already betrayed you.
They
Anyway,
win.
they win. Yeah,
He
that's it.
wins. What does it mean not betray you? He's already taken everything. Your whole being belongs to him. You're a servant. You're nothing. You're a pawn. So you should never be naive about evil, guys, because
Evil is evil. Yeah,
evil is
evil
evil.
is evil. That's
It
it.
will give you everything and take everything from you. Everything that you think is great and everything you don't value yourself, like your soul.
Yeah.
But that's how entities work. And again, evil. They want your soul. In this case, when we come to human beings, I mean, when we're talking about real life human beings, they want a person to manipulate, so they act in a certain way, and then other people get like that. They influence other people, and now we have a whole sheep running around like stupid, so stupid that you can't even have a conversations with these people. And I actually had a great topic the other day, because as many guys, I mean, I don't know how many guys, but some of you guys know that I do a fitness, health, relationship advice, sexual relationship counseling, like relationship, whatever counseling that has to do with fitness, health, nutrition, and some sexual things. That are very important, and I do all of that at OnlyFans. I use it as a Patreon. I also have a Patreon, but I can upload content there. So basically, there's a topic how Latino women manipulate men from America for a green card, and they're ready to play their long game, and they're never genuine. They just try to make you fall in love with them, and they just make your life live in hell. They change their behavior. They start to, I mean, be super obnoxious, so you want to divorce them, and then when they get rid of you, they find another man they actually want. They usually target older men. They usually are like in a sugar daddy sites. So, and this can take a few years, but they are ready to play the long game and to manipulate you and take whatever money they can from you, create a life in America, have a kid from another guy that's younger, whatever. That's exactly what they covered the other day at OnlyFans, actually yesterday. So, such people that think like that they don't think like normal people, they will do anything. And they already made up the whole plan. You can't even fathom such a plan because you're just not such a person. You're not a conniving evil bitch.
Yeah.
When you're not, you're exposed to such types of
To a conniving evil
manipulation.
bitch.
But then again, the men that are falling for these things, they're very thirsty. So it's something that they lack in terms of emotional maturity. They don't even think about things like how many times a mature man that's intelligent thought to himself, sure, if I get to a sugar daddy site, I will totally get a decent woman from
Totally
there.
get a decent woman from there.
These women
Totally.
there just want your money, and they will do whatever for those money. It's never about being genuine, true, or real, whatever. It's a transaction. That's purely what this is. So if you think to yourself, "Oh, sure, I'm gonna find my wife there," you're delusional. You're crazy. It's just very naive, really. What the real world is, it's just very naive. So when you fall to this trap, it's your fault that you did. But then again, of course, it's the fault also to the woman that's doing that to you. But you should know better. You should know better.
Exactly.
That's the point. So when there's a gap in someone's intelligence, emotional maturity, whatever, there's also a person to exploit that to endless amounts, to whatever, I mean, to whatever extent they possibly can, and they will. And you you should never underestimate such people. I also had to learn the hard way when I got bullied by girls and guys. I couldn't understand why would you do something like that to someone else. I mean, after years, when I understood more psychology and all of those things, I understood why, but it's horrible. It means that this person is so low in terms of their qualities as a human being that they resort to horrible acts just to get ahead in life. And they want to push others down, and they don't care how they're gonna do that, whether they be men or women. So you gotta have one earring on your ear. That's an expression in Bulgarian. It means that you gotta have a chip on your shoulder.
That's actually the expression.
And yeah, that's actually the equivalent. And not think with your lower head, but your upper head first. And then your lower head can be,
We gotta go.
run free. Oh my gosh, it's 11:30. Okay, let's see the comments real quick. I never explored in my 40 years.
Never too late.
Suppressed emotions leading to psychosis. Yeah, it's possible. In social media, either in the same sense, having an account and then never had the need to broadcast my life online, and even less of a need to follow a lot of crap. Yeah, see enough as it is. Yeah, Joey, yeah, just keep it to yourself. Hey, Mr. YouTube, thank you for joining. Have a great night. Yeah, but if I compare to the others, okay, what's important to read here? Just have to realize to not trust anyone on social media and look it up yourself. That's one other thing. So the usual Western woman, well, I'm not sure if like the usual, but you can do the same. I mean, you can meet the same quality of women with the same type of character from Ukraine as well and Russia. They usually are the countries that love to con men. Like they're the scammers. So what Latino women from any country, and and basically Russian or Ukrainian women, there's probably from other countries as well, but these are like the three most prominent that I found out about in recent years. It's the push of the victim complex. Yeah, and we actually do know a guy that is dating a woman from Peru now, and we are kind of worried.
We hope that everything will be okay.
I really hope that it's gonna be okay because he's from Bulgaria. There's not really much that she can steal from him here, but
Yeah.
so hopefully everything's genuine and true. Because he didn't really find anyone in Bulgaria, which I think is sadly his fault, but that's a long topic. Loneliness is good for you as long as you have quality people and reach. Well, yeah, I mean, basically, you're not as lonely as you think.
You're actually never alone. You always have in yourself, and working with that, and then everything else comes.
And that's why I say always, guys, that you always have to strive to be better, become better, and that takes time. That takes some dedication. The stream stop. Hold on, let me see. That's just a mistake from YouTube. No, stream should be okay, guys. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, we are finishing up here, but yeah, I want to make sure everything's okay. So yeah, that is why you have to work on yourself, build better qualities. If you have to read the book, read the book. If you have to learn how to train, lift weights, do calisthenics, whatever you can do, because that builds character.
Whatever, yeah.
Thanks, dear Clayton. That builds character. That builds willpower. It's not just for vanity. It's for your mental health. It's for your physical health. So it's not just for beauty, and all those things. It's important.
Exactly.
You can do a lot to improve yourself by knowledge and by physical and mental improvement, and that because that will take time, that will take your focus and concentration. You will not feel alone because you will be constantly busy with improving some aspect of yourself that you always wanted to improve, and you see the value in yourself. Your potential is going to be developed, and you will feel so much more fulfilled, and then this will make you a better partner for someone in your life. You'll be more quality of a better quality human being, so to speak.
Only when you learn to live with yourself, you'll be actually able to live in someone else.
Yeah.
That will be the best version that you did, and you will be able to live with that better version that you actually did. Because if you don't work on your potential, you will never like yourself. And okay, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone else to love you? It doesn't work.
Yeah. And Billy, hi to Billy. He says the bully will prey on the people who know the truth about them and what they fear the most. will prey on the people who know the truth about them and what they feared the most. So, what do you think?
Where? Because I
Here it is, here it is.
on the people who know the truth about them and what. Yeah, I mean, in a way, because I mean, if the bully actually thinks that you're better than him, usually
You are. That's why he's
yeah,
bullying you.
that's why he's bullying you. Yes.
That's why. Even if subconscious, they know you're better. So that's why they do it.
Hey, Dave. Dave.
Hey, Dave. Indeed. Love you, Charlie. Indeed. So this says long time allows to focus, therefore, hobbies or development, like you said. Exactly. And so good to just paint your freaking miniatures. It's just so relaxing. Even that's so great.
Exactly, yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
How did I find out about Charlie? He was everywhere,
It's
unfortunately,
everywhere, yes.
when this happened. So you just have to open YouTube. So yeah, and Twitter. Actually, I found out from Twitter. This is just how it happened. It was like evening time and just opened. Okay. Okay, guys. So please rewatch the stream because this is very important video. Check this guy's channel. In the comment section here, I posted his videos in the description, even if you're watching this after the stream has ended. And now tomorrow gaming stream for fun in the morning when I usually do this. So if you want to watch a gaming stream, if my friend and spirit guide of Elden Ring comes back, I'm gonna stream that. If not, we're gonna skip and stream Wuchang trying to beat the boss there. That's gonna be in around 9 hours and a half from now. So whatever is your time right now, in 9 hours and a half, if you're interested in having just a bit of fun with the gaming stream, that's usually what happens in my mornings, my time. So you can watch that in 9 hours and a half. We gotta go sleep. Yeah.
time.
You do the dance. Okay, Sergey, okay. And let's see who support the stream. I wrote the Star Wars credits. We're gonna rate.
Do we have to do the dance now? Or?
I'm gonna do it. Just a sec. We gotta rate.
I mean, we can rate the disgusting. He's supposed to have a show. Right?
Here he is.
Yes.
Gonna rate disgusting. He's talking about fun stuff. So go there, show him some love. There's some interesting topics with the YouTube algorithm, some other stuff. I'm just gonna play it. Okay,
Yes.
good. Seems like a good
Yes.
show. Okay, guys, I love you. Here's a. We are silly funny like that. Okay, guys,
Yes.
love you. Bye for now. Bye bye.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes, with faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires, but with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars entire. Through stars and storms we rise,